Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. I'm Mitchell Renz. I got the top 5 players that I want the Raiders to draft at number 12, their very first pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. So for those of you that don't know, the draft is on April 23rd, and make sure that you guys are subscribed to our main Chat Sports channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv, because Tom and I were going to be live for the entire thing. If you're a diehard Raider fan, you'll know this. We got 2 first-round picks, and we need a lot of skill position players on offense and on defense. But actually, are you a Raiders fan? Are you a die-hard Raiders fan? Like, I'm talking silver and black. You got literally everything on your house, or in your house is Raiders, on your beer. Like, literally everything I own anymore is Raiders. Are you a die-hard Raider fan? Type Y for yes, type N for no. And for those of you that are typing your Y for yes, subscribe. I'm going to be doing videos the entire offseason. The way that I find out the real diehards are the people that care about the Raiders in the offseason. So if you're not already subscribed, please do. Click that big red button that says subscribe. And how about this? If you are a loyal fan of the Raiders Report and of me, I've been trying to grow this channel, been trying to do a lot of great things here. Take the link below, youtube.com/Raiders Report, and send it to every single Raiders fan that you know. So now let's get into the Raiders' biggest needs. Okay, I got 4 of them. When I think about the Raiders' biggest needs, 4 of them come to my mind. Number 1 is a linebacker. The Raiders need to get a linebacker of some sort. So Paul Gunther, if you're still our DC, draft a linebacker. Number 2, wide receiver. When I asked you guys what's the Raiders' biggest need, probably the most common answer was wide receiver. We got 2 wide receivers in this video. Let's go now to cornerback. For me, cornerback, secondary, you can throw them all in together. I need to see what we got in LaMarcus Joyner. Trayvon Mullen, I like a lot what he's got. I'm excited to see Isaiah Johnson's next step. But cornerback to me is still a need. And number 4 is safety. And I say this in one condition only. If the Raiders decide to not re-sign Karl Joseph, safety becomes a big need. If you re-sign Karl Joseph, then you have Joseph and Jonathan Abram. Sure, you might want to add depth, but then safety to me is not so much of a big need. So today's show, 5 players that the Raiders could draft at pick number 12. And the Raiders Report's fun. I love doing the show. Now, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you might get hit with an ad break here. So while you're watching that commercial, I want you to scroll on down to the bottom, okay? I'm going to pin this question to this video. Name a player the Raiders should draft at number 12. My number 5 player that I want the Raiders to draft, I'm going to go 5 all the way down to 1. It's Grant Delpit. I love Delpit a lot out of LSU. If you're looking for a do-it-all safety, I mean, look at Grant. He is a very solid blitzer. He can help cover big receivers, which is something the Raiders need. But his versatility, especially in man and zone defenses, which the Raiders like to implement both of those, is very key. Plus, I also am a strong believer that certain college programs mold great positions. LSU has proven that they know how to mold the safety. Look at the Honey Badger. Look at Jamal Adams. Grant Delpit, I'm telling you right now, is going to be one of the next best safeties in the NFL. Now, the reason why that he is number 5 on my list, you can look at the numbers. You're going to be able to watch him in the national title game. And I'm telling you all right now, you better be watching the national championship game. But when I think about what Delpit could bring to this team, my real question is, and the reason why I put him at number 5, and I didn't put him any higher, is because of Karl Joseph. So let me ask you guys this question. Would you rather re-sign Karl Joseph, type J, or would you rather draft Grant Delpit, type D? You got to pick one. Because I think if you re-sign Joseph, there's no reason to take Delpit. But if you don't re-sign Karl Joseph, then yes, you have a glaring need at safety still. Because you need to be able to put somebody next to, Abram. And Delpit and Abram would be a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys rather do. Would you rather re-sign Karl Joseph, who's on right now his 5th-year option, or would you rather draft Grant Delpit? I'm seeing a pretty mixed bag. I'm seeing a lot of J's for Karl Joseph. I get it. Karl Joseph, to me, we drafted in the 1st round out of West Virginia in 2016. He didn't have the best first 2 years, but I think he started to play better, especially at the end of 2018. Started to play a lot better at the end of 2019. This show is all about the interaction, so I want you guys to continue to get your votes in on YouTube and Facebook. Now, I also want to give a special shout-out to today's sponsor, BetDSI. For our loyal watchers, you know that BetDSI is the internet's #1 sportsbook. You know if you put down $50, you get 60 for free when you go to chatsports.com/bet and when you use my promo code Raiders120. If you want to bet on the national championship game, Clemson versus LSU, go to BetDSI right now. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't tell our producer. I'm going with LSU. Speaking of LSU, what's up? Kristian Fulton, cornerback. So he's a well-built dude, okay? If you're looking for a little bit bigger of a corner to match up against some of these bigger wide receivers, I think he's well-built. He covers receivers very well, which, again, is something that our secondary failed to do this year. But he's a smart defender, and you're going to see a trend here on a lot of the players that I talk about. What's one thing that we saw from Gruden and Mayock this past draft class, and I think we can all agree it worked out very well. We found players with high football IQs. We found players that wanted to win. We found players that were able to buy into a system. Fulton's a player that's going to buy into a system. If you're looking for a first-round cornerback, we've missed on the past with a cornerback. I won't mention his name. Actually, I will. Garyon Conley. I don't think we're going to miss on Fulton. I don't think Fulton is the type of player that you miss on. But I did talk about two LSU players, two players that I like a lot. And I'll be honest, this is a tough question for me. So I'm going to ask you guys instead, making up my mind. Who would you rather draft, Fulton or Delpit? So I want you to type G for Grant Delpit. I want you to type K for Kristian Fulton. So both players out of LSU, both players that I want you to watch in the national championship game, LSU versus Clemson. But who would you rather have? Let's say both are on the board. So type K for Kristian, type G for Grant Delpit. What would you guys want? I'm seeing some G's from James Lee. I'm seeing a K from Adrian. Somebody said Conley sucks. Throw it in the comments section. K. Rich says K. Joshua Scott said Conley sucks. Jack Dawson says K. Chris Capel says G. And then my opinion says G. Well, my opinion, appreciate you watching the show. Let's get in now to number 3. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb. This was actually very, very difficult for me. I love CeeDee Lamb, and I love the next player that I'll talk about. But CeeDee to me is a very smooth route runner. He's great at finding the open field, strong hands, tough guy. And I think one of the things that I love about him especially is he doesn't really get phased when a player's in his face. Maybe my favorite thing, though, about CeeDee Lamb is his yards after the catch. If the plan is to stick with Derek Carr, and if the plan is to kind of keep this same, you might hate for me saying it, dink and dunk offense, maybe you go with CeeDee Lamb over the next wide receiver that I talk about. CeeDee Lamb, to me, makes things happen. He is Mr. Yards after the catch. And when I watch the Raiders offense, when I watch Derek, who averaged 4.9 yards per yards per completion or something like that. Air yards per completion. Get it together. When I think about the offense that the Raiders run, I think CeeDee Lamb would fit it great. However, and I say this however, I don't know how long Derek's going to be around, and as great as CeeDee Lamb is, I'll actually take the next receiver over him. So my number 2 player that I would want the Raiders to draft at number 12, it's Jeudy. For me, Jeudy is my number 1 wide receiver. He's just a great athlete, and in fact, I'd actually call him a freak athlete. He's got the burst, agility, speed for days. He's also very good yards after the catch. My favorite thing about Jeudy, and it's the reason why he's my number 1 wide receiver, is his intelligence. Watch him on film. His ability to just run routes and make people look dumb is actually something that I don't think you can teach. Yes, you can get better at route running, but there are certain times when you watch Jeudy, he makes people just look dumb. His ability to create separation in such an easy way, I'm telling you right now, is a reason why I'll take Jeudy as my number 1 wide receiver. Now, I love CeeDee Lamb, and I might actually argue that CeeDee Lamb might fit our offense better with Derek Carr. However, I'm looking long-term, and I think Jeudy is going to have a better long-term career than a player like CeeDee Lamb. I don't know if you can really miss with either of these guys. They're both very, very solid options. Lamb had 62 catches. Jeudy had 77. Lamb had a lot more bigger plays. I think it had a little bit more to do with the offense in the Big 12. Both wide receivers are absolutely sensational, and I would love to see either of them in silver and black. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. Pick a wide receiver. Who would you rather have? Let's say both CeeDee Lamb and Jeudy are both on the board at 12. Who are you going with? Type CeeDee, type JJ, okay? So for those of you that are saying, Mitch, it's never going to happen, something weird happens every single year, okay? Derwin James went 17th overall when he was being mocked in some people's mocks in the top 5. If quarterbacks go early, you see players like wide receivers in a deep class slide. So who would you rather draft? I want you to type CeeDee for CeeDee Lamb, or I want you to type JJ okay, for Jerry Jeudy. We got over 800 people watching right now. So get those votes in. Let's go. I want to try to get to 1,000 people. Just so you guys know, the more comments we get, a lot of times that helps me get more viewers. So let's go. CeeDee if you want CeeDee Lamb, or Jerry Jeudy, type JJ. Who would you rather have? CeeDee or Jerry Jeudy? Continue to get those votes flown in. YouTube, Facebook. James says JJ. Laz says JJ. Besman says JJ. Gerardo says CeeDee. Tyler Dank says none. OBJ. Tyler, make sure that you're subscribed. We'll be doing some OBJ rumors, I'm sure, this entire offseason. So for those of you that are a loyal watcher, you'll notice that I'm not wearing my normal get-up, and it's because I took advantage of this deal. So if you guys want some new clothes, you want a new hat, listen up. Chatsports.com/Raiders hat. That bad boy on screen is 40% off. Now, maybe you're not a hat guy. I get it. It's all good. We got Raiders gear up to 50% off. The holidays, they just came and gone. I'll be honest, I'm kind of cheap. A lot of times I do my holiday shopping after Christmas. Luckily, my mom's birthday is January 7th, so I could do a lot of that afterwards. But if you guys need a new Raiders shirt, you guys want a new Raiders polo, hat, all these unbelievable deals, go to chatsports.com/Raiders sale. We're going to hook you up. Fanatics, they got the plug. Ready to get my number one player? Let's do it. Isaiah Simmons out of Clemson. He is my number one target. If he is on the board at pick 12, I will be screaming and potentially hitting Tom that the Raiders need to draft Isaiah Simmons. Man, he's just a rare player, okay? We know that John and Mike, they love their Clemson players. But if you want to talk about a player of his size at 6'4", 240, who can cover, heck, they have so much confidence in him and his versatility that there's times this year where he played defensive end, linebacker, safety. The dude even lined up in corner. If you want to find a versatile player to change your defense, here's your guy. Hard hitter. The dude is insane to me. Watch his tape. Okay, I was talking about the two LSU players before. If you need a reason to watch the national title game, it's Isaiah Simmons. Okay, because he could literally change our defense. He will be, if the Raiders draft Simmons, I'm telling you now, he will be having a C on that jersey very, very soon. But my favorite reason, and the reason why I'm telling you now, if he's on the board, they're taking him, it's his football IQ. It's off the charts. Absolutely off the charts. I'm telling you right now, if he's on the board, they're taking him. So I have my top 5 players that I would want the Raiders to draft at number 12. So pipe dream scenario. Let's just say all 5 of these players are on the board at 12. We're going to have some fun, okay? I'm going to leave this up on screen for a little bit, and I want you to get your votes in. So if you want Grant Delpit, I want you to type A. If you want Kristian Fulton, cornerback out of LSU, type B. If you want CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver out of Oklahoma, type C. Jerry Jeudy, type D. Or if you want my number one player, Isaiah Simmons, I want you to type F. So let's say all 5 of these players are on the board. If that's the case, you might not want to watch the show because I'm going to be streaking live on camera. Grant Delpit, Kristian Fulton, CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Isaiah Simmons. And for those of you that don't know, I'm actually completely streaking right now, but you guys can't see it. So A, B, C, D, or F. We'll give some shout outs to some of the people watching on YouTube and Facebook. A lot of Fs. A lot of Fs. I'm seeing some Ds. I'm seeing an F and a C. Seeing a D in there from Benz. Continue to get your votes in. Who should the Raiders draft at pick number 12? Now, for those of you that don't know, if you want to get to know me a little bit better, I always tell people to hit me up on IG at Mitchell Renz 365. The other reason why I tell people to interact with me on social media is so you can tell me your opinions on other rumors out there. So if you see a rumor that's absolute bullshit, hit me up, slide in those DMs at Mitchell Renz 365. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.